Hello guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to look at using the if function within the if function. Here I've gone ahead and used the if function to decide if the person has passed or failed. We've simply checked this cell and said, is it greater than 50? If it's greater than 50, it's a pass. If not, it's a fail. And over here, we have our grading scale, the numbers A through F. So let's see how we can use the if function. We'll put it over here. I'm going to build my function over here. We're going to see how we can use the if function within the if function to get these results. Let's see what that looks like. We're going to go equal if. We're going to give our first logical test. Our first logical test is if C5 is greater than, according to our test, our grading scale, we're going to start with the highest, has to be higher than 90%. So our first logical test is a greater than 90. If this is true, the person gets a A. Now, what if it's false? When you get to the argument, value if false, here is where we'll be placing our second, our third, our fourth, and so on. That's where we're going to place our another if function. All right, so whenever you're thinking, I want to put an if function in an if function, but where do I put it? It's always by the argument that says false. All right, especially with this kind of setup. So here we're going to put our second if function. We're going to place our logical test. Is this cell? Is it greater than 80? We're following this. So we're going to say 80. If that is true, we're going to give the person a B. We're back by our false. What do we do here? We place our third if function. You're with me. We're going to check and see if C5 is greater than 70. Okay. If that is true, person gets a C. Excellent. Value if false. What goes here? Another if function. Beautiful. We're checking out to see if that same C5 is greater than 60. If that is true, what do we give them? We give them a D. This grading system is hard. And finally, we're going to check and see what the person gets. If they've gone through all of this checking, check to see if it's 90, above 90, you get an A. If not, let's check and see if it's above 80, get a B. If not, 70. If not, 60. We're at our last if function and also at our last requirement, our last criteria. So for this one, if it's not all of these and it's not D, we hereby value if false. We only have to now say give them an F. We would not need to write another if function. All right. Now we're going to have to close the parentheses for each of these if functions. So this one has a green one. So you should see a green one, a purple one, a red one, and then a black one. Let's go. Green, that's this one. Purple, that's this one. Red, that's this one. And finally black, that's this one. All right. Or you can just keep closing until you see black because the first one will always be black. So let's go through that again. We had our first if function. We gave it a logical test. Is C5 greater than 90? According to our graded scale, that deserves an A. If that is not true and it's false, here's where we place our second if function. We check again to see if it's greater than 80. If it's true, we give it a B. If it's not true, we give another if function. We're going to check C5 another time, see if it's greater than 70. If it's true, we give it a C. If not, we run another if function. Check C5, see if it's greater than 60. If that is true, we're going to give it a D. However, if that's not true, because we only have one more criteria left, then we give it a F. All right. And we're going to lock that in. So according to our grading scale, this person receives 61. What do they get? They get a D. Needs improvement. Copy that down. I'm going to look at our, on my, even with 69, Henders on the cusp of satisfactory, but not quite 70. So he as well gets a D. So that is how you can use an if function within an if function. And I'll see you guys in the next one.